welcome along and welcome back to Spruce Mountain Farms. Today we are going to be sorting out the rest of our hay. So it's going to be out with all of our Vermeer equipment today. We want to get the hay rode up, which is what we're going to be doing first. And we're going to be using this R2800. We bought this back when we were on back on Stone Valley, and this is the first time I'm actually using it. So yeah, looking forward to this. We're then going to be getting the Vermeer baler that we currently have leased. We're going to be getting that out and getting this all baled up so that we have a good amount of feed for our cows. So let's get this unfolded and round, and I'm going to start slightly in the field. That way we can keep all of this hay in the field. Start it up, drop it down, and like that, we're off. Why isn't that grabbing the stuff right at the edge? There we go. Now we're off. And yeah, we're probably just going to do lots of circles around this field because it's pretty much the easiest way to do a field of this shape. Now, we have got a little bit of rain on the way, and I'd ideally like to get all of this collected up before that hits, just because that's a little bit more realistic to get all of this hay, rode up and baled up before then. It's not going to actually affect any of the yield on this. And in fact, I had lots of questions after the last video about whether cutting this grass in the rain would affect yield. It actually has no effect. The only crops that are really affected by rain in the game tend to be grain crops. So your wheat, your barley, things like that. Other crops tend to be unaffected by it. So you can do potatoes in the rain, you can do sugar beet in the rain, all of those kind of things. And you can also cut grass in the rain without it affecting the yield either, which is quite good. I kind of like to see some effect on how long it takes to dry. That would be useful. But yeah, it doesn't really affect the actual yield of it. So you can cut grass and even ted it in the rain, I think, without having any effect on it in game. This is a very much stranger windrow to use than some of the other ones in game. It has a capture that is inside of its frame very much, whereas all the others tend to be somewhere outside. So there's a readjustment to that, and its turning circle is a little bit weird as well. I've thought a couple of times that I was going to catch the previous row that I did, and it's not quite there. So you have to, yeah, with that extra little bit of weirdness to its actual capture angle, it can be a little bit strange to use this, but that has worked, and we've got 2 headlands out. So I was going to go round all the time and just basically keep going around the field, but I think the best bet is actually to do what we did when we were mowing this and try to basically do L shapes going around the rest of this field, and make sure that we make it as easy as possible to bale it without having to do too many tight corners. And I think this is probably going to be the best way. Just doing this kind of shape and then not worrying about the headland bits at either end. Of course, this side of the field is much chunkier than the lower end. So we'll only be able to do these L shapes, I think, for one more run, and then it'll be a couple of single rows coming back up this way. The trick also is just bringing this right up to the edge here until it's run out. Turning, and then yeah, plenty of space. In fact, looking at this, I think we're only going to have one row that's just the straight one. So bring that in here and down, and yeah, lots of nice visibility in this John Deere. Makes it very easy to do things like this from in cab. And actually, I think this windrower might be an easier one to work and use from in-cab, because you can see the exact point where you want to keep your edge. Although I am still missing bits in the corners, so I think it would probably works better this with if you're trying to do straight lines rather than going in and trying to do corners like I have been here. Final row, and yeah, we are going to have a little bit of a kink in here, simply because we've got quite a wide corner to try and bring in. A little bit that there are a few little bits actually from this that I'm going to have to go around the field and clean up afterwards with the baler. But all in all, this seems to be running pretty well with all this. How's our tractor doing? Our tractor actually is in fairly good nick at the moment, so that's good. And last little bit there. Lift that up, turn it off, and fold it. And then we can go and get the baler. But what I need to work out with the baler is what is the best size bales for us to create for our mix. If we have a look in our shed, I think it's least our mixing wagon. Animals, okay, down here. So the capacity of our mixing wagon is 22,000 litres. So we want 30% of that to be straw, roughly. So 30% of that would be 6,600 litres. We've got 7,500 litres in these. So these are actually slightly too big. We then want, so we want our hay bales to be at least that size. And yeah, we are going to need, this is the thing. Our straw bale, we've got straw in here, so it's probably going to produce one more straw bale. And then I think we probably want to put in, I don't know, it's going to be difficult. We'll have to work it out because our silage we can just fill up at the end. But had I thought about it at the time, yeah, I would have created a different size of straw bale. Oh, it has changed to hay. Fantastic. So, yeah, we'll get proper hay bale out of here instead. Trying not to drive over my cotton field and take out my rows of cotton. But, yeah, so that's not too bad. We're going to get some nice hay bales out of here, and we will leave them at the 7,500. So we're creating 150 centimetre bales in here, which are not the smallest, but they're not the largest either. But they will be useful for us going forwards. There we go. In fact, I might take it up to the 180s. How many litres are in this? So in that, yeah, it's 600 and, oh, so 6,500. Yeah, we do want to change the bale size. We want to go up to the 180s. And we'll continue on with those. We'll have one small hay bale to start with, but the rest of our hay bales will be of the larger size and will work better for us as a result. I'm just going to check this first bale here because I'm not sure it came out as hay. Oh yeah, it did. No, it did. I was a little bit unsure of things. I went to get the second one around the corner and unload it, and I thought that the symbol, the icon, was a little bit darker for that first bale, but I forgot that we actually got out and we worked out what size the bale was when we looked at it, and it definitely said hay then. So yeah, just me doubting myself a little bit as I sometimes do when I'm coming around and not quite sure what I've previously done. I do want to have a quick look at this bale, though. Now that we're doing the larger ones, you see 9,000 litres out of that. That's a really good size for our feeding needs. So really, really useful. We can put 9,000 in if we then put another 9,000 in. So make it a 50-50 mix in the in there, and then put straw on top. That will then work well. I also want to get some mineral feed. Mineral feed helps our cows to produce extra milk, increases our milk production. So I think we need to go and take the trailer down to the shop and just go and buy a whole load of mineral feed. And maybe just put a single one of those in each time as well. We are getting a nice number of bales off here. So far, we have had 5 bales. No, 6 bales, because we're up to 14 on our counter. And the first 8 on that counter are the straw bales we did previously, because I haven't reset it. And yeah, that's really good. That's a nice amount of bales we're getting off here, especially because these are the increased capacity. So that isn't very reflective, actually, of how many liters we're getting off here. Also tells me that the yield of this grass was really quite good, and that means that if we are getting this kind of level of feed off here, we're probably in a good position to maybe start looking at expanding the number of cows we have on the farm in the next year or so, which again would be absolutely brilliant, and would go a long way to increasing our productivity on here too. Another bale is out, and we've got not many rows left to do. Coming up to the end of baling on here. Oh, is this going to be enough to get one more bale out? 5, 6, 7. Oh, I don't think. I think I've cleared up most of the stuff that is around the field. We need another 200 liters of hay, and I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we're going to end up with very, very close to a full bale. 98. Is that going to take me to 99? Nope. Is there any more hay around this field that we can get an exact bale out of? I don't think... Oh, no, there's just little bits down the side. So we'll try and hoover those up and see if it's enough. We are now at the point where we need less than... Yep, there we go. Less than 100 liters would do it. And that last little bit was actually more than I expected it to be. But I don't think there is even that little amount. There is, right in front of this bale here. There is going to be enough to get us an exact bale out of here. There we go. And I don't need to worry about that little pile there, because it was more than enough. And that means that we've got another bale out of here. Our total is 11 bales off here. And that actually includes a pretty... well, that is 10 big bales and 1 smaller one. Absolutely fantastic. I am very, very pleased about that. We can go and put this back now, and our next bit is going to be to get all these collected up. So we can put this tractor back in the shed, and we'll head out with the manure fork and our little New Holland and start collecting up these bales and getting them stacked in the shed where we've got all of the straw bales stacked. So I don't think we're going to be able to take more than 1 bale at a time with the front of this. I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. So let's get the first bale up. Yeah, these are quite big, and we're going to need to take them one at a time and get them stacked. So we should have left ourselves enough space in this shed here to actually get them stacked, and we can come fairly far out here. So I think if we can go 4 across again like we have there, we'll actually be fairly good. We know we've got 10 of these larger bales, and we'll grab them first, and then we will grab the single smaller one after that. I want to try and use up that single smaller one first, to be honest. I don't know, do we need to roller this field? So field 7, yeah, field 7 needs rolling, as does our grass field. So we're going to be doing both of those once we finish this. We don't want to use the grass roller on there. The other thing I need to deal with is look at the weeds in Field 8. Those are going to need to be dealt with sooner rather than later. I think we'll probably end up dealing with them next time in August. I don't think we are good, really, for our level of... Where are we? There we go. For our nitrogen levels either. No. So we've got a lot of spraying to do over the next couple of months. If we get time today, I think we might see if we can get the weeder onto that field of corn, of maize, because, yeah, we want to get that sorted as quickly as we can. But we need to have this grass field, both these grass fields rolled before the end of the day in order to maximize the yield. And actually to get them both moved on to growth, so that later in the year we might actually get a second cut and some more hay off them. 4 bales down, just bringing the 5th in, and at this point the rain has kicked in, and we're starting to get a little bit wet. Not expecting a very long rainstorm here. It's forecast to be fairly short. And afterwards, looks like we're going to get some pretty bright sunshine. It's been cloudy all morning. But, yeah, sunshine to follow, which is good news. Means that we can pretty much do all the things that we want to do this afternoon. I'm going to ignore that one and come straight in on this one, which I can get a better run up to. Get everything into position, onto the bale, lift it up. Yeah, 9,000 litres of hay. That's really good for us. Everyone on this... Whoa! That was a lot closer than I'd have liked. So 8 bales in, and we're going to have a chance to stack these really realistically, because I haven't really had a chance since I've been... So I was observing bales and bale stacking over the summer, with how the round bales were being done by me, or done round by me, I should say. And yeah, I want to see if I can stack them in sort of the realistic manner that they tend to round by me. So we've got 2 large bales and 1 small bale left. We should be able to get these onto the top. Wow, it gets really slidey on here when it gets wet. I love that. It's absolutely awesome. Right, let's line up. Really easy to line up, actually, in cab with the bonnet and everything. And then we'll take this back over to the shed. I think I might put a roadway in here, just out of that corner of that field like that. That makes a big lot of sense to me. Just sort of a mud track out of the field in that corner. Seems to be the way that I'm going to be doing that end of the field, and makes a lot of sense. So let's bring this here, and we want to place this sort of in the middle of these, and it kind of helps to anchor everything. So like that, and like that. And then everything is much more stable. Yes, it's not right up to the back, but it starts to create a very stable pyramid shape, and a great way to stack all of the bales. And then we're just left with our last little bale, and we're going to take this off-centered because of where we're putting it on the stack, and it should work pretty nicely for that. Yeah, if you're with this, especially with the big bales, it kind of is the full width, this manure fork. And I think while it can be used for this, it's not the greatest thing to stack bales with. I think long term I might look at getting a proper bale spike. Here though, we seem to be pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, and we've got these bales in fact, just as the rain has stopped, and that lasted about an hour and 20 minutes, that rain. But we're all good, so time to switch tractors again and get the roller out on the newly planted grass field before we get our grass roller out on the grass field itself. I'm not expecting this first job to take very long. We have a pretty big roller on the farm, and field 7 is a fairly small field. Our other roller, our grass roller, is much, much smaller and is going to take a lot longer to do. But that's okay. The grass fields very much are our aim and our target today. Unfold this. There is a field that is currently available for sale, and I'm just wondering where it is. I'm unsure which area it is. Normally it's indicated by a color. It's a field without a sorry, it's an area without a field. But I can't see which one it is. It's not 5. No, not sure where it is at the moment. Can't see one that is shown as a different color. I think what I would really like to see from the auction mod is, instead of it mentioning field X is up for sale, or field or an area without a field is up for auction, I'd really quite like to see it do area, or farm area X is up for auction, because that would be really useful. I wonder how difficult it would be to tweak that in the mod itself. I might have a look at that and see if it's possible. It's not taking us very long at all to get through this field, and it's rolling quite nicely. This should maximize the yield we get from any grass on here going forward. So really, really important actually that we have this done before this germinates, because otherwise we gotta, in order to actually do it, we'd have to replant all the grass, which would be incredibly annoying. So yeah, I don't know, because the other field says needs rolling, and that we had already rolled, so maybe not. Maybe it just needs to be grass rolled each year to up the yield. But I know that it doesn't up the nitrogen doing this either now or after it's grown. What it will do when we go and roll the other field is move it forward a growth stage, so it doesn't just go straight to, it'll go straight to first level growth, and move the grass along, rolling it after we've cut it, as opposed to where we're left with on where it takes an extra month to properly grow. So we can cut it a lot quicker again if we get it rolled. And so I want to get it rolled today. I want to get into that, restart the growth of the grass as quickly as I can, so that we end up hopefully just before we're looking to harvest either of our crops later in the year, be able to get another cut of hay done, and really fill our sheds with that. And once we get this headland done, that should be the end of this field. So across here and up, and then fold this up, and then we've got the much longer job of getting the grass field rolled. So we need to get that grass field rolled next, and so that is going to be done simply with the little grass roller we've done. This one unfortunately won't do it, and we do have this big roller actually, so that we can do our bigger fields mainly once we planted those. But our grass roller is only 3 meters wide, which is why I've concentrated on smaller grass fields. Otherwise, yeah, it would take forever just to do all our grass work. Plus, we'd end up with way more feed than we ever need for the cows. So, as it is, even cutting 3 times a year, we're going to end up with a load of extra feed. And the possibility of maybe creating, either taking the grass in to make silage bales, or make more silage, or doing silage bales becomes a prospect. And we might look at that as well. If we find ourselves with way more than we need, that is definitely going to be something that I'm going to look at. Here at the moment, we don't need to turn this on. We don't need to seed this. We just need to put the roller down. And yeah, there we go. Away we go. And as I was saying earlier, because we're using precision farming, you can now see that the harvested state there is changing to match the state that we have on field 7. So this is kickstarting the growth of the grass again. And both these fields should be ready at the same time to cut for more hay. Yeah, later in the year. So I'm doing this in an L shape, working my way across the field. As I've said a few times doing on this grass field, in that this is the easiest way to do this. It kind of works towards the center and means that you do nice long lines the whole time. You're not at any stage sort of trying to do small maneuvers that take more fuel and more time to try and get round. So it's a much more efficient way of doing this field, I think, to do it this way. And yeah, it's going quite well. We are a good third of the way through the field, I think. Looks like we're not going to be doing much else other than finishing this off today. But if we get this all finished off today and get all this done, that is a massive win for us. We are then in a position to not worry about the grass for a few months. We can turn around, we can come back and deal with this probably in late September with any luck, and do some more grass work then just before we hit November for the cotton and October for the cotton and November for the for doing the silage with the corn. So at the moment our plans are going as they should, and we're looking like we're going to do pretty well out of this. We've been at this a couple of hours now, and I think we're probably just over halfway through. It is coming up to 6 o'clock in the evening though, and I'm just trying to make sure that we stay on track. Now, I think what we'll do going forwards is probably look and see if we can replace this roller at some point. It is taking a while to do this, and if we've got 2 fields to do with this in future, it's going to be rather tough to squeeze it all in. So I think what we need to do is probably keep an eye out for something like the maxi roll. There we go, grassland care. Probably keep an eye out for this. Now, we could afford to buy this now. It's a 6-meter one, so it would be perfect. Oh, it does come with a seeder on it as well if we wanted. So yeah, this would definitely work for us going forward. So yeah, I want to keep an eye out for one of those. We don't need it quite yet. And maybe, nope, we're still raised. Let's lower that down. Maybe we could grab one of those and get that out on here and do it that way, because yeah, it would speed this whole process up and make sure that we're able to spend time on things on the farm that we otherwise won't get to, because we spend a lot of time rolling the grass. I definitely think we need a bigger roller now to do this. Doing 2 of these fields later in the year is going to be difficult. I'm now going to do just up and downs on here until we get to the last row. Hopefully we can end up in the far corner, down where I've been saying I want to put a roadway in, because it would do this field fairly nicely. I don't know if that's going to happen. We are hitting the point now where the sun is setting, and we are up to 7:30 in the evening. So there's a little bit more to go, and it's going to get harder and harder to see now. But we will get this out today. What I think I will do, though, because not much is going to change more on the farm for today, is I think we're going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.